Society.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turntables activated. Get ready.
The most versatile hip-hop radio station in the world.
You can talk about us, but you can't talk without us. Phenomenal radio. We are what radio should be. You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think?
Holy sh! Where'd you find this?
You're locked into the #1 online radio station.
Here we go! It's not that your radio sounds strange. You just found a station that plays what you like.
Phenomenal radio.
Radio just got a lot more fun. Thanks for listening.
We are what radio should be.
Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. Welcome to Audio Forensics on PhenomRadio.io, the most versatile hip-hop station in the world, where we've taken the power of the industry and placed it in the hands of the independent. I am your brother, at Slate Stone Music, anywhere online, on Carlos X. In here with a phenomenal guest on today. In here with my family, Dr. Dick James, and he's going to introduce our guests here shortly, but thank you for tuning in. For those who don't know, tap in and learn a little bit about us. Again, PhenomRadio.io, or you can search, use the hashtag 1000 Network on any platform, and you'll see the legit, organic people behind the process. So we thank you for tuning in. Dick James, introduce our special guest on today.
How you guys doing? There we go. That's what we want. We just want everybody to feel that radiant energy and know that it's genuine, because we have a superstar today. It's very honorable to have you first and foremost, because you are like one of the first to represent what you're still currently not just maintaining, but taking it to higher heights. Your genre and the industry that you come from. Well, I'm not going to say a whole lot. That's what the interview will serve. We let the horse talk and let the people listen. So today, without further ado, we like to introduce ever so popular artist from the mid-90s group, Dear Yvette, today otherwise known as Yvette Michelle. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful welcome. I am great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for making time for me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So, Miss Yvette, we thank you for your time and your service and your sacrifice, your contributions to the world, those that we may be aware of, but those that we may not be aware of, to your family and your career and life in itself. We want to talk about your music aspect, the musical aspect of your life. So for those that don't know, would you let us know when music became a part of your life and when you started on the path? What was the atmosphere like for you?
Awesome. I've always loved music ever since I can remember. I've been the family entertainer, but it became a profession in the mid-90s, as you mentioned. I grew up in New York City. Hip hop was out and emerging, but it was still evolving. And I was able to get into the mix around the time that independent labels were starting to become a thing, and mixtapes were popular in the streets, and DJ culture was really growing. I associated with a DJ, Funkmaster Flex. Y'all know him. He's the hottest in New York City. Hot 97 was leading the trends at that time for the world, actually, in terms of hip hop, because hip hop was then broadening into other areas of the world outside of the country. And so it was an exciting moment. It was the shiny suit moment. And it was really a great moment for New York City artistry. So I definitely have a little piece of history.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What about your, and thank you again, salute to all those that she mentioned, definitely NYC known as, to many as an origin of hip hop and a sound here in America. But for those that know, they know. But thank you for shedding light on that. Again, to the DJs that supported that shiny era. How was the household for you? How was music at home for you? And how did you discover your gift with your voice and your talent?
Yes, great question. I definitely would have to attribute it to my time growing up in the church. I grew up in the church choir. That was really like my boot camp. I didn't understand it to be training in the moment, but being, disciplined around singing for a congregation was a performance. And so I was, on that path. Prior to that, I just loved music. My parents were jazz aficionados. My mother had a real deep love for music. My dad was from Harlem, so he definitely had his preferences. And music was part of New York culture, like I mentioned. So I've always had it as part of my life. And when we were in a more strict, like I said, lifestyle in terms of the church, gospel took the place of whatever else might have been, standing, in my repertoire. But I don't ever remember a time when family was not, on board with what I was doing and promoting that with me.
Yes, ma'am. The church backgrounds are important,
Yes, that's what I
and
learned.
it seems to be a lot for our people to have those musical backgrounds and the church background.
Yes.
So that's awesome. I can't imagine having that and being in New York at the time during the 90s around that energy and atmosphere and producing music and records. So I got one more.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it was a very interesting juxtaposition because I always say that churches in New York, people really go to church. When they go to church in New York, it's sort of like they mean it more because they're not on every corner. You know what I mean? And so the church experience was not diluted for me, but it was just as much going on outside the church. So it was kind of a challenging moment for me. But I'm sorry. Continue.
You good? It's all
yeah.
This is also reality talk, and the church, from our ethnical backgrounds, really was our first stage, our first genuine stage, and it was taught.
Yeah.
And it was genuinely taught, and that's why we are where we are, and we're gonna get into that, where we are versus where we come from.
Right.
In addition to where you're going.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am. So I have one more question before we play this record. And then I'm going to turn it over to my brother, Dick James. What was it like recording your first record professionally? And the second part of that question was, when did you know that music was going to take off for you to have the singles in the top 20s and be touring and doing all that you were doing?
The recording in the studio for the first time was actually in a professional studio for the first time was actually when I recorded Every Day and Every Night, my first single. And Flex was scared to death. I was scared to death. He had a backup singer just in case it didn't work out. It was a joke after the fact, but it was my very first time recording. So it was terrifying. I was super judgmental of myself. I had only been used to singing in the choir out loud, not hearing myself in the microphone. Even though I had some experience in the studio up to then, it wasn't necessarily in a master studio. So learning, building the plane driving the plane while building it, as they say. And so it was kind of as I was learning as I was going, and I was scared to death. But I knew the record was a hit the moment I listened back, and then I also knew when I started having an opportunity to hear the responses on the radio, because Flex was a DJ at the time with a set, and he took it almost, white label, took it from the studio to the radio station and was playing it before it was even available for purchase. And that's how we were able to see that it could be something big, Yeah.
Y'all were able to put that case study in the test, you know what I mean, to action in real time during history being made. That's awesome, making your own history.
Yeah.
So we're going to play this record, and then when we come back, we'll let you talk about it, and my brother Dick James will take over the interview. This is Global Audio Forensics with our special guest, Yvette Michelle. Sounds something like this.
Crazy
Indeed. 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 Big James.
Yeah, indeed, something different.
Yeah, it is different. I mean, I'm trying something new, but I've always been a house music lover. I don't know what you know about New York and house music, but it wasn't the first city, but it was definitely a platform that built the culture. And I was a teenager at the time, but I was knee deep in it, sneaking out, getting fake IDs, going to the club. They were turning disco and soul music into house records. And
Right.
so the mixes were what was making it the thing. It wasn't always what you heard on the radio, it was what the DJ in the club did to it. And so they would extend the bridges, similar to what we were doing in hip hop. So hip
Yeah.
hop, disco, and house music they're like cousins. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so,
First
yeah,
cousin.
yeah, exactly. So this is like a continuation of my dream bucket list stuff. Now, this is a little different because it's more electronic, but I also am open minded and curious. You know, I want to try different things. So if this is what the times are, calling house music, then hey, we'll try it. And that's kind of how the project emerged, you know?
Yeah.
All greatness has to be
Yeah,
rebirthed, revived, revisited, rejuvenated, and the list goes on and on and on. So it really is an honor for you to be here because you're a pioneer that you basically gave birth and life to. It's time for the percolator. It's
this
time for the
is
percolator.
true.
That's where that came from.
That's true. This is
Now,
true. Yeah.
now we know Flex, forever has been the driving force behind several artists in different forms of music, but this right here is everlasting.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
sure he's smiling every chance he gets, and he gets a reminder. He
Yes,
pats himself on the back for this right here because it's smooth selling. Ain't no competition, ain't no nothing. What can you do?
that's true. That is true. Except for love it.
Enjoy yourself because this is easy listening music. I
Exactly.
mean, your voice,
Exactly.
your
Oh
voice
no.
is so soothing on here. I mean, look at it. We got things vibrating and shaking and keep knocking the camera down. I'm
I'm
like,
having a
man,
serious effect on y'all.
yeah, man. I mean, it's like, come
It's a
on,
dope
man.
record, though.
Thank you,
Yeah,
though. I appreciate the love.
Indeed.
It's not easy putting yourself out there after all these years. This doesn't make sense to everybody. You know, some people are like, girl, you're doing good over here with this. You know, why are you worried about that music? But I love it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I have like minded folks cheering me on. So thank you again.
absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
definitely can feel the energy and the passion. That's
Thank
without
you.
question. I
Thank
mean,
you.
you're dear Yvette. I mean, hey, look, LL was talking about dear Yvette. You know
That's
what I'm
where I got
saying?
it from. You know, I have to give
That's
a nod to my, greats and the forefathers. So that's what it's about. I am such a B girl at heart. You know, it's not just about singing. And it's who I am. I'm from the Bronx. So what am I going to do? I
boogie
want to
down, baby.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really am proud of that too. This is authentically me. This is not me
Right.
with some persona out here playing a role or pretending. So
Right.
it's just a continuation of, and then I'm young at heart. So I'm over 50, but you only as old as you feel. And so I'm
Right.
just riding it till the wheels fall off. We're going to have a great time and have no regrets, you know?
The
And so
more
Right.
that's what
examples
it's about.
we get to witness, the more we get to realize all those mistakes and those obstacles that were placed before us, they really do not exist.
This is true.
It
This is
starts
true.
in the mind, and you're a great example. Please believe that.
Thank you for that. That makes me feel really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The digital world is the place that the majors have always known and have always been.
Hmm.
That's how artists have been able to go what they call worldwide, commonly known as global. It's
Hmm.
satellite and internet, plain and
Indeed.
simple.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. That's the era and the time zone we're in. This audio forensics, Phenom Radio, KPTX digital broadcasters. We number one. We report to the number one platform for new music and artists worldwide, the Urban Influencer. The
That's
number one digital station
what
that's
I'm talking
doing that currently.
about.
So
Okay,
that's
girl.
where we're gonna go next, you know.
Yeah.
An artist like you should be put in the system because you're gonna continue to carry that torch. And you're gonna be a prime example for these beautiful young ladies that come up, and sometimes it seems as though they're lost because they don't have enough beautiful examples that they could see, that they could take a page or two out of the book and add on to their repertoire.
Awesome.
Mo-
That is so true. Oh my God. You speak in life, because that was what happened to me. I can count on one hand the number of 80s artists that I can look to, or 70s artists that could help me figure it out, how to get back into the mix. I had to do that. Thank God for the internet. You know what I mean? So it's
Indeed.
been deep. It's been really deep. It's been DIY, and so I would love to give back, because what am I going to do? Sleep on all these things I've learned?
Right.
So,
You got to give
yes,
them
write me
jewels.
back, y'all. Give me 6 months. I'll have some new stuff to tell you.
But the thing about it is, with the record, if I can interject, one thing you said was that resonates is the originality. You know what I mean? Being original at that time.
Yeah,
being able to do that now in this era, and being able to feel that on the receiving, like somebody outside of you telling you that. I'm not saying that I'm the only one, but you can feel that, as Dick James was saying, with the music. Like, you can tell it's a genuine, it's real in it. It's real energy you can feel in the record with how you did it. Like, so your essence, you can feel the energy in the music is all I'm saying,
I'm
basically.
glad to
And
hear
that,
that. I re-sang those vocals. I didn't. They wanted when the guy went viral on SoundCloud for doing the mix on his own, using the record from the 90s, and he got a record deal as a result of it for that single.
oh wow.
And when they started pursuing the sample, it was prohibitive. It was expensive. It was taking too much time, and we decided that I'd re-sing it. So what you're hearing is me coming back after all these years and hitting it again. Now I know how to nail it.
Right.
And that's what I love about that record. I got a second chance,
Yeah.
you got another chance to be who you have the opportunity and ability to be. Timing is key for everything and everyone.
Amen.
Here's a jewel you can take and continue to give that life breathing room and life. You can invite collaborations on that record
That's true.
with
Yeah.
all kinds of artists from all kinds of genres, and now you got different genres and different styles of artists on that same record. But each time you add another addition to that record, you add another publishing check
That's
to
true.
your bank account,
It's a new
because
word.
you're the yes. So just do some pondering and think of some artists that you can hear that would go real eloquently with what you have to offer, and then see where it takes you. Flex is the man. He can get anybody,
That's
or he
true.
can just make a call, because I'm sure he's got all the records, and he can just go and add an addition and create a demo promo, and then he can send it out.
That's a great idea. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
So
or
we,
when you get that record too, let us put
Y'all
it to
can
the
break
test
it. Y'all can
first.
break it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us,
absolutely. You
let
already
us,
know
Yeah.
what it is. Shout out
you
to
and your
Uncle
team,
Angelo
respect to you and
Elovich.
your team,
Shout
but
out to Kevin Goins.
let us put
Young
it to the test
Tuzzo.
then.
Yes.
Y'all do it. Y'all be first. Of
Right.
course.
Indeed. We
That's a great
appreciate
idea.
that.
I hadn't even
Double
thought of that. So,
exposure.
yeah.
Absolutely. So we're gonna play another record, and then we're gonna come back and let you send your last shout outs, because we know you're a busy woman.
Oh,
And
thanks.
we appreciate your time. So
I'm
we're gonna
enjoying
play this
myself.
one.
Okay, well, thank you for
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna push the envelope because I know that we are enjoying ourselves, and we're sitting at roughly 8 minutes from the time period. So don't mind that, unless you have a particular place that you want to be. As long as you're enjoying yourself, you're more than welcome to stay, because the more we have time, the more we can talk about, the more you can tell the people about what exactly you want them to know and where they can go to find you, just in case they want to get up close and personal, and also extend a booking account out to you and bring you to
Yeah.
some markets.
Okay. Well, I am times box today, but I'm gonna try to squeeze all of that in anyway.
That'll
But
work.
thank you.
Well,
I'll
go
come back.
ahead.
Though. I'll definitely be in.
She could go ahead and do that, and then we'll just end with the record.
Okay, that'll be great. Listen, I'm on all the platforms, and I do manage my own social media. So reach out to me on Instagram, Threads, TikTok. I'm still trying to make my way on TikTok. It's not my favorite. Facebook, and sometimes X, depending on what's going on. But yeah, y'all, I definitely do that. YouTube is on the way. I'm going to try to get into podcasting myself. Hopefully, I can send some positive messages, like you mentioned, out there for the generation behind me. My goal is to try to bring light to those that are in the process, behind the scenes, and support folks in the business, like the makeup artists, the hairstylists, the gaffers, the people who are making it happen but don't get the shine. Right. So that's my next thing. But I'm also traveling and taking bookings. So look for me, definitely. And thank you for all these years of support.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for your time and for your contributions and sacrifice.
Thank you.
All right. Until next time.
Check out my next joint. Yeah.
Peace. We're going to run that record back, sound something like this.
Dear Eden.
The most versatile hip-hop radio station in the world. Phenomenal Radio.